Hi guys, it's Belle here and it is Monday, so that means it is Margarete Miller Monday here on my channel. And if you don't know what this is a year-long collage challenge created by Margarete Miller. I will leave the links to her YouTube channel and her Etsy store where you can get the digital prompts from. And I have playlists of me doing this challenge for 3 previous years, so go check that out. This year I'm working in this little journal, big change to the index cards I was using last year, but what I am loving about it is I'm really getting into the swing of the fact that I am combining my love of memory keeping / scrapbooking with this collage challenge. It's very different, I'm betting, to most other people doing this challenge, but it's really working for me now and I'm enjoying it. So let's get on with what we've got. So an animal with fur. I have this funky cat stamp set. Text in a foreign language. We have this piece. A torn piece of paper with an interesting edge. Not quite sure how I'm going to do the edge yet, but we're going to use this black and white stripy bag. A product label or packaging, and this is a bit of a sneak peek as to what this page is going to be all about. A calendar page or date. So I have this little date. I'm going to use my date stamp. And ribbon or washi. And I have these. And this is actually a fabric ribbon. And let me show you the picture we're going to be working with today and talking about. So a couple of days ago, I went to the Barbie exhibition and the World of Tim Burton exhibition at the London Design Museum, which is in Kensington. So I'm going to be working off the main page because I'm going to be doing some hand stitching and maybe some actual machine stitching. So the first thing I'm going to use as my base is this black and white dotty paper. Sorry about the shadows, but it is what it is today. And this is by Kanban. And it's just polka dots, white and black, and it is CRD 1321. Don't know if you can still get it. I have had it many years. And I've just gone around it a little bit in some black soot. This is going to be our base, but we are going to work off it so that I can hand stitch. Anyway, so yes, we went to the Design Museum. I love both Tim Burton and Barbie. I had Barbies as a child. And I know a lot of people are like, well, they're not very feminist. They teach girls the wrong values and things. I think the Barbie movie has helped change that a little bit. To be honest, guys, I always just think it's how you played with them. Because my Barbies were always independent, never married, had their own businesses, fancy sports cars, and normally were vets. So, like, it's how you played with them, guys. It's not Barbie itself. So I love Barbie, even as someone who does not like pink. And the exhibition is actually finishing at the end of February, so I knew I wanted to go and see it. And then I found out near the end of last year that Tim Burton exhibition is on at the same museum, and that finishes in April. So if you are in the UK and near London and really love either of these, I suggest popping down and seeing them, because I'm going to tell you, they were great. And even my partner, who was not a Barbie fan, does not care about Barbie, really enjoyed it. Oh, it was so colourful. Oh, the nostalgia, guys. The nostalgia. I loved it so much. Okay, I think I'm going to put this on like this. We're bringing in the black and white paper bag. Firstly, this is what I got my goodies in when I went to the museum. And I will share my goodies with you. This could be a long one today. I'm going to be chatting. If you're new here, hello, I am Belle, and I like to chat, especially in my Margarete Miller collage challenge, because this is when I'm doing memory keeping, so this is when you're going to get some chatting. I feel like I want this down here. It's torn, and it's got an interesting edge just as is. You can see the dots through it. Oh, I love that so much. Anyway, yes, I like both Barbie and Tim Burton. And can I just say, like I said, my partner really enjoyed both. I knew he'd like Tim Burton, but he also really enjoyed the Barbie one. And, yeah, they were just so good. I mean, there was so much about... I've loved Tim Burton's work. I really feel like Tim Burton is such a great kind of example of those of us who felt like we never really fitted in when we were younger, that we were the weird little creepy, eccentric, usually goth people, which is still who I am in my heart, and well, just who I am actually. So yeah, it's his work, finding it all out. Even, my gosh, they had some of his handwritten letters there, and like from the very start of his career, and his penmanship, oh my goodness, it is beautiful, guys. It really is beautiful. So anyway, I loved seeing his work. They had all the models there for like Nightmare Before Christmas. Love that. They had Corpse Bride. They had like, I didn't even know that he was part of the team that did Pee-wee's Big Adventure. You know, the Pee-wee Herman movies and things like that. I didn't even know he did that. And I didn't realise he was so influenced by classic horrors and Hammer horror movies, which I watched so much. I mean, I'm a little classic horror gal, so they were big for me. And that's why he has Vincent Price in a lot of his movies, was because of that. They had costumes, can I just say. They had Wednesday's costume. They had the Alice in Wonderland costume. They had, obviously, Sleepy Hollow. Oh my gosh. Edward Scissorhands costume, the hands, the robots. Oh my goodness, I was getting close-ups of several sections of the costumes because I was just thinking that would work amazingly on a journal cover. I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm so inspired. So yeah, the Tim Burton one, we actually saw Barbie first. And can I just say, I've got this piece, which I thought was fun because it looks like, you know, like bubble, you know, a thought thing, which I thought was fun because obviously Tim Burton is an artiste. And I want to stamp my cats on here. Now, I think this, guys, was just from a stamp set. So I can't really... like it, not a stamp set, it is a stamp set. Hello, Belle. From a magazine, so I can't really tell you where it's from or anything, but I thought these would work great because as you walk into Tim Burton, the cat from Corpse Bride, as you're walking in to the bit where his exhibition is, it runs along the wall, and I thought, well, the cat, they had black walls and the cat was in white. So I want the white background with the black cat. It's not quite as cutely creepy as the Tim Burton one, but yeah. So anyway, I love both of them. We went to see Barbie first. Oh, the nostalgia. Oh my gosh, that came out so well. I rarely use these stamps. I need to use them more. That was fun. I loved Barbie growing up. I think many of us did. I had Cindy dolls as well, which was like the British equivalent. And this little bubble bit here looks like glasses, and I want that for a reason. So I'm thinking there, and I have to remember that I need to stick my prompts somewhere. Kind of want them hidden a little bit. I think I'm going to cut them down a little bit more. So yeah, we went and saw the Barbies. Oh, I was just having so much fun. It was so bright and colourful, and oh, it was just the nostalgia, the fascinating sort of bit about all the aerospace technology that was used for Barbie, which you just don't think of. I've got this pink flower. It's a very pale pink. I was thinking of bringing that in too. Let's do the date as well and see where we want the date. Now I'm using this and this and this and this bubble are all Anna Griffin pieces that I had in my stash. Now this date stamp is it's a Smash Book one, Kate and Company Smash. Does it have a number on it? It doesn't really, but it has all of these on it. Now, to be honest, I don't use these a lot. It did go up to 2024, and I wish I'd known that because I would have used it more. I used to do a lot of Smashbook and scrapbooking, so that's why I used to use these. Love all the words on it. We're not going to use this. I'm just going to put February 7th. Now you can see I've got washi tape across the word and across the year, because the year only goes up to 2024. I don't have that. But this is a way you can use your date stamps if they don't have the right date, or if you only want the date and you don't want a word, and I do just want the date. Just put a little bit of washi, ink up the date that you want, then you can peel the washi off, and then you're going to get a clearer, I'm just trying to make sure this is the right way up, impression without all the rest. Do you see? Isn't that fun? So yeah, if you've got date stamps and you're thinking, oh, it only goes up to this, or like I think I've got one that goes up to 2000 and I don't know, 18 or something, or you don't want the words, there's not enough space, just grab a little bit of washi, guys. Always do a print off first. That's what I would suggest. Never put it straight onto your project before you do a print off. I want this at an angle to represent the swirly swirly. The black and white is obviously Tim Burton. The polka dot reminds me of Barbie, but also the first ever Barbie that was brought out wearing a black and white swimming costume. This is her here. This is a sticker of her in 1959. So I wanted the black and white to kind of, you know, replicate that concept to fit in with it all. Now, I want to use the packaging as well, and we also really have to think about the text. So I got this sticker set because this is of the very first Barbie, 1959, and then they did a 65-year special edition Barbie for collectors, which was based on her original swimsuit and glasses, and this is one of the sort of simplified, the dresses for the 65th anniversary were amazing. So yeah, it's a simplified version of that, and I really feel like I want to use this one, but we also need to use part of this. So I was going to make a shaker with the packaging as well, but I don't think I will. I think there's a lot going on in this page. Oh my goodness, I can't get this out. I didn't want to rip it. I'm going to have to. Okay, we're just going to grab this, and I think I want this bit here. That's what I want, because it says about using packaging, so I want this bit. But yeah, I love the Barbie one. It was so bright, it was so colourful, it was just giving me all the feels, guys. It really was giving me all the feels. And as I said, my partner had a really good time as well, so we saw all that. The only thing I was disappointed in the Barbie one, they had the set of my favourite Barbie collection. They had part of the set, because I think there were 4 of them. And did they have my one? No. No, they did not have my favourite Barbie. But they did have the dress, the Barbie dress that is the most memorable. And I don't even know why it's most memorable. It's really simple, like peach, slightly shiny, like ball gown, and I do not know why it is the dress I remember most from my Barbies, but it is the dress that I remember most from my Barbies. Kind of wanted a bit of that yellow showing for the yellow in there, and I was so excited when I saw that dress. It was crazy. They also had my first ever dollhouse too, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I got my Barbie dollhouse. I'm sure everyone was kind of walking around. And the evolution of Ken, I only had one Ken. I mean, like I said, my Barbies never got married. It wasn't really a thing for me. And it's still not. So I want to put that on here. Now I've chosen this. I do not know if it is Japanese, Mandarin, anything. So I apologize to any of you who can tell me what it is. But the reason I wanted it was because Tim Burton, I'm going from Barbie to Burton, Welcome to the twisty word of Belle. Actually, it fits in very well with the idea of Tim Burton because his work's quite twisty. He was also influenced not just by classic horrors, but by kaiju films, kaiju monster films, like Godzilla and that, which, again, I loved all that stuff as a kid. I was the kid who was watching either a 1950s musical, you know, the golden age of Hollywood and stuff, or I was watching Godzilla or a Hammer horror with Vincent Price and Christopher Lee. Like, literally, that was me. I was strange. I brought this in as well. I do want some stitching. We have got the stuff. So I wanted to bring that in because it does tie in for me. Now we can't actually see the torn edge of this, but we've got a torn edge there, and I'm thinking of doing a certain something. So I'm going to do that. Right. I think we've got our basic layout. So I am going to start very carefully moving things, and please keep calling to me that I need to remember to have a space for the prompts. Yeah, so I wanted that on here. Yeah, the Barbie one was a lot of fun. Oh my goodness me. There were things that if I'd seen them as a child would have been the dreams for me to have. But the Tim Burton one, there were pieces in there that I wish I could own. Like, every other piece of artwork, I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Oh my gosh. And there was a whole room just full of artwork that's classed as untitled because basically, so much shadow, where's that coming from? I think it's from all this stuff. Basically, it's pieces of work that as of yet he has not. I don't know if I want to stick this down completely. I'm trying to think where this could go. I think it could go behind here. If I fold it up, it could tuck right down inside and we could do something. So that's okay. Yeah, they're untitled pieces. And so there are all these ideas that he's had, but as of yet, nothing's come of them. A whole room full of them, guys. Oh my goodness. And then they had a replica of his kind of like craft room that he sets up, his artist studio, when he's away and working and stuff. I'll tell you now, it was much neater than mine is. That's not true. Mine's quite neat, but it's neater than mine when I'm working. Let's put it that way. Oh my goodness. So that was such a joy to see as well. Looking for my cloth. Can't find it, so just going to do that and get some of that glue off at the edge. You can't even see it, but it's right at the edge of the table, so I want to move it. Yeah, it's even more. That's not supposed to be. What am I doing? That's supposed to be straight. Good job. There's other stuff going on here, isn't there? So that was a lot of joy to see. I mean, I'm a huge Burton fan. I really, really am a huge fan. And there was things I didn't know he did. Like I said, the Pee Wee Herman. But also he was part of the Fox and the Hound. He was an apprentice on that movie, which I was like, really? No way. I did not see that as a thing. And things like that. Yeah. And you can see some of his early, when he was at university, some of his early drawings are really inspired by Disney, because then obviously he started working with Disney. I need to bring this up. I've stuck that down, but I need this down. He started working with Disney. So yeah, that was really fascinating to see actually how his early work still had some of the creepiness of Burton-esque, but then also had this Disney vibe to it, which was fascinating. Yeah, and there's even a letter a reply to him from Disney, sort of turning down some of his work in those early years, even though Disney actually saw him, because Walt Disney had a, like, what's it called, a sponsorship at the university for new students who were into design and things, and that is where he came across Tim Burton. and hired him from that. So it was just fascinating. And the fact that Tim Burton talks a lot about being an outsider, which is what I was saying, when you're growing up and you feel so different from other people, like really different from other people, you know, everyone's talking about this, that and the other, and you're thinking, well, actually I'm just thinking about, I don't know, watching a horror movie, a 1920s kind of horror movie or something, and everyone else is talking about, I don't know, going out or doing this, that and the other, and you're like, that's not really where my vibes are. Yeah, that was super interesting to read about, and now I can really see it in his work, that outsider, the person who's different, but part of you really wants to fit in. I'm not sure I ever wanted to fit in, if I'm honest, but because I just like me. So, but that whole idea, you especially see it in things like Wednesday, his new show, and Edward Scissorhands and things like that. So yeah, I really enjoyed that, sort of getting to know about him more and learning all about how Barbie has this whole aerospace. This could have been a pocket, thinking about it, couldn't it? This whole aerospace element to her design and stuff, when most people just don't really think much of her. That was really fascinating too. So I had a great day. The weather, guys, was horrendous. It was ice. It said it was about 3 degrees, but felt more like 5. That's what the weather report was saying. And on top of that, it was raining. I was prepared. Do you know how many people I saw around London who were just, they had no coat and they had no umbrella, and I'm just like, either you're new to the city, or I don't know, it must only be that they're new to the city, because I would never go to London without carrying, well, I wouldn't go anywhere without carrying my umbrella and stuff. That's just very me. I love that up there too. It's that weird mix of a bit weird and wonderful with pretty. Yeah, that was interesting to see people running and trying, like, holding their hands over their heads. And I'm just thinking, get an umbrella, guys. Carry one with you. And it talk about people hustling. We came out of one of the tube stations, and someone, because the weather was so bad, had decided, I don't know where they'd got them from, but they had a whole box of cheap umbrellas and were selling them outside the tube station as people were leaving. And I was like, hustle, love to see it. So I'm also wondering, I think I want to do some stitching. So it said an interesting torn edge, and I'm thinking of doing stitching there, and I'm thinking of doing some stitching maybe here, and possibly even here, because we've got almost everything on. I also wanted to add some brads. Like, I had these little, let me just bring some brads over. I had some fabric ones as well, which are quite cute. I had the black dotted ones. I mean, Burton prefers stripes, but you know, the dots also make me think of Barbie. A black star one that I thought was quite cute. That might be quite cute for there. Okay, let's put a hole in that. Someone had asked me in a previous video what it is that I use. This is literally some foam. I don't even know what it came in, guys. It came in a little box. It might even have been one of my magnet purchases. But it's just a little piece of foam, and it's perfect because, yeah, it's just perfect. It's small, it fits under things. I really like it. So yeah, just grab yourself a piece of foam, or I even have some of this, which is again like packaging. You could use that. I like this thicker foam piece. But yeah. So it was raining, it was cold, and actually when we got back to one of the train stations where our car was parked, we got out of the train station, and it started, well, first we thought it was snow, because by then there was ice in the air. So first we thought, oh my goodness, is it about to snow? No, guys, it wasn't snow, it was sleet, and it hurt. It really hurt. It was really painful. have this little pink heart that I think would work on here too. It was so painful. I was like, what is this? Why does this hurt so much? Yeah, so the weather was atrocious, but the actual, I can't recommend them highly enough. And the actual part of, so there were a few different gift shops in the museum, but the Barbie one had a whole big gift shop to itself as well. Well, I say big, it's not big, but it was, you know, to itself, as well as in the main gift shop. There was a Barbie one just outside the, as you walk into the main museum, and it had these giant doors, and I'm not kidding you when I say that they reminded me of the doors in a Barbie dream house. I loved it. Now, Barbie, again, very pink. It's not my thing, but I did buy a couple of things, and I will show them to you, including that sticker set, because I just thought, one, that'll work well. I didn't even realize there was packaging. That was one of the prompts for this, but I wanted the sticker set. So we've got a little pink heart and a little black. I'm wondering if I want like a dot anywhere. Feel like you should have 3 together. We could have a white one with pink dots, or we could have a square, do something completely different. It's quite big, the square though. I'm going to bring this on and see how I feel. Oh yeah, I just even loved walking through the doors because it felt like I was walking into a Barbie dream house. I was like, this could be a vibe. We have got the black and white dots though, which I think actually pick up the dotted paper in the back. So we're going to go for that. Yeah, we need 3. That's that. So we had a great time, even with atrocious weather. We found a little shop. Kensington Station is super posh. And there was this little shop there though that sold empanadas. Now, I don't think I've ever had an empanada. I know you guys in the States might be like, what? But it's not really something we find that often over here. And so I had a vegan pumpkin and sweet corn empanada. Oh my gosh. Normally when something says sweet corn, it's kind of in there, but you can't really taste anything. The sweet corn really came through, and they must have toasted it because it was super delicious. I'm wondering about tearing this edge along here, actually. It was so delicious, guys. I need to write on here, though. So that's what I grabbed for my lunch. A little pumpkin and sweet corn empanada. So many amazing bakeries. Oh. The museum itself does have a cafe, and you can actually get a Tim Burton. I feel like I need something on there because I want it to go down, and now I'm thinking maybe I didn't want to rip it. I want it to go down, but I don't want to be able to see any of it, but I want to be able to pull it out. So maybe if we do it like that, will that go down? Do I need to, does it need to go sideways? I feel like it might need to go sideways. Now I'm trying to work out. Let's fold it in half. What are we doing? And I have these little, like, we could even use the other edge of that packaging. Let's see what that would look like if that was poking out. No, I don't think I like that. So, yes, it's just a lovely little thing. And there's a lot of exhibitions in the museum that are free. You do have to pay, obviously, for the Barbie and the Tim Burton one. I'm just really glad. I've got these borders, half an edge cardstock, Basil Basics. I haven't even got the number on it. It's ripped off. I've had these for so long, guys, so I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I'm wondering if, so I'm going to move this because whatever we see, we'll see poking out the top of this. So it has to fit with the theme. So I need to kind of have a look at that. I do like that one. I might keep that one out. Need to have a look. Maybe we want, I was going to say a bit more black, but I don't know if I do want the black. Got the star. Something will scream at me in a minute that yes. I mean, this might even work. We could just do the 4. That could work. Let me have a look at my little bits of paper. We do have this. It'd be almost like a hidden clip, actually, if we did that, which I kind of love the idea of. So let me have a look at getting my whale tail. Yeah, so there is a cafe there, and they do a Tim Burton tea. You can get like an afternoon tea, which I have to say, after looking at it, I was super tempted. And they do have vegetarian and vegan vegetarian options. I'm sure they would have vegan too. So I was super tempted by that, but I ended up not doing that. We just grabbed something on the way. We also didn't know, I haven't actually been to the Design Museum before, so we actually didn't know how long it was going to take us and all that kind of thing. And you never know with the tube and trains, do you? Come on, people over here, especially if you've been to London, you know what I'm talking about. But actually, everything went okay, which was great. And we are definitely going to go back. Obviously, by that time, the Barbie one will be gone, but not. There's just other things that I want to see. I'm thinking this might have to come up even more. Yeah, there's just other things there I would like to see. And I'd like to go. There's a beautiful park right beside the museum. And I would just like to go to it when it's not raining, you know? When it's... Why is that? Is it the flower? Let's fold it even more. This is going to be so folded. Why is this the hardest bit of the whole page? So it was complete nostalgia for me. And I loved it because you saw the little baby goths in the Tim Burton one. All the little young'uns becoming goths or dressed as in their little goth fashion. That'd be quite cute on there, wouldn't it? I wanted it to blend in, but now I'm thinking that would actually be quite cute. So we're going to do that. Yeah. I was not for once in all my goth or Halloween goodness. I went for a complete autumn feel, me. In browns and oranges and an autumn dress. I don't know why. That was just me that day. That's what I wanted to wear. So, and there's a picture of me in the Barbie box, pulling some weird poses like thinking Barbie or what's over there, Barbie. It was so much fun. It really was. I was just disappointed they didn't have my Barbie there. She wasn't actually Barbie. She was part of Barbie's rock band. But she was my favourite because at that time, she was the one with the red hair. She had large red curly hair, and I had red auburn hair as a child. It's darker now, and I dye it really red now. But I loved her. And I think she had green eyes possibly as well. And I just loved her. So she kind of was my representation. Now there's so much amazing Barbie representation, short, tall, different disabilities, different ethnicities. It said they had 55 different skin tones, which, oh, I just love that. There was like, what, 4 when I was growing up. So that's there. Now I need to do some hand stitching. So let us do that. Let's grab me needle, because Tim Burton does a lot of stitching in his you know, you think of Sally and all that kind of thing from Nightmare Before Christmas, in case you're going, Sally who? But yeah, Tim Burton does a lot of stitching. And actually, when I was going around the museum, it was talking a lot about his love of the stitching or putting things back together and all that kind of good stuff. It was really interesting. He's really into photography now. So in the last few years, he kind of does these most amazing photos where he uses a lot of the models from his pieces, and he does these amazing photos with them, which, oh, that was fascinating. I really enjoyed that. I loved his photography. I'm going to pull that out of there. So that was, yeah, as someone who also loves photography, that was really interesting. There was even a part of the exhibition where the floors and everything were done exactly like, you know, in Beetlejuice, if you've seen it, and it's the wobbly floors, the checkered wobbly floors. Yeah. It was done just like that, which was so cool to see, but also really disorientating. So yeah, couldn't get 2 more different exhibitions to see on the same day, but for me they absolutely represent me perfectly and growing up. So, and this is the kind of stitching that is often on many of his characters, which is why I wanted to do it. But I also want to bring in some crosses because I just love those too. Oh. So that was a lot of fun. And this will be the torn bit of paper with the interesting edge, because we are going to do this stitching along the edge. We've got to bring in a bit of Tim Burton, haven't we? So again, if you are in the UK and near London, or if you are visiting London anytime between now and the end of April, I highly recommend going to see the Tim Burton one. Barbie will be gone by then. Oh, which is sad. I think the Tim Burton one, it's been a world tour of it or something. And I think it's coming to an end, which I think it's been on, did they say a 20-year world tour or something crazy like that? Or no, that might have been the Disney one. We saw the Disney exhibition last year as well, at a completely different place. In fact, in the most random place of all. It really was random where they had the Disney exhibition. It's a place normally that conferences are held, and it almost looks like a mini airport. It's not, but that's what it looks like. It was completely random, and I was just like, oh, are we certain this is where it's meant to be? And everyone was like, yeah, this is where it is. Like, oh, okay, really? Feel like I might want some stitching along here as well, so we're going to do this as well. Let's get that on there. So there was no other exhibition in the Disney Space one. There was literally just people going to weird conferences or expos, you know, those kind of things. Come and see the latest gadget of this for your business. And then the Disney exhibition. It's very weird, but had a lot of fun. Want to go back. I really think my youngest should go there, because obviously doing graphics design and stuff, I think it would be a brilliant place for him to visit. And I think he'll really love it. So I'm thinking of bringing in, we're going to do them a bit wonkier on here, I think. Just because I want them to be a bit wonkier. And yes, I know I could speed this up, but there we go. So let me know down below if you are a Tim Burton fan. What's your favourite Tim Burton movie? Well, that's a hard one, I know. But I think for me, it is really hard actually. But I think for me, the one that really sticks in my mind most to begin with is Edward Scissorhands. I love that movie. It's so sweet. And it's got Winona Ryder in it, and I love her too. And then it would probably have to be, part of me wants to say Beetlejuice, but if I'm being honest with myself, I think it would probably be Sleepy Hollow. But he's done so many amazing ones. I mean, what am I even talking about? Then there's Nightmare Before Christmas, which became my whole personality for a while. I love Jack Skellington. I have to say, I don't like his relationship with Sally. I'm just going to say it. It's not the healthiest. Sally needs to go to some counselling on how to feel better about herself and be okay with herself without needing a man. But I love that because not only is it creepy, but it's got Santa Claus in it. So love that. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it wouldn't be that. But, oh, so many, guys. So many. And, oh, I love this little tidbit of information. But the skeleton. So if you've ever watched Corpse Bride, there is a bit where there's these this skeleton band. And apparently Tim Burton based that on the Disney, one of the original Disney pieces, the skeleton dance, which I did not know. I love finding that out. So we've got lots of hand stitching on there because, you know, the only thing we now have to add, but we are going to do it in a second, is we now have to add the washi. But you will see how I'm going to do that. So, and this is why I had to do it off here, because there was no way I could do it on there. And that's coming off the edge a little bit. So brilliant day, even with the rain. I mean, it's London. It's fine. It's February. It really didn't feel like February. It felt like a really cold December. I was just waiting for the snow to start hitting because it really felt like it was. But no, we got beaten by sleet. I was like, ouch, that was on my face. That really hurt. Is it snow? It's so pretty. No, it's not snow. I was just grateful all the trains were on time. So that was a lot of fun. I love going to exhibitions and museums and things. It's just something I've always enjoyed. We used to do it a lot with the kids as well when they were little. And then as they got older, you know, we'd try and take them to ones that they'd be interested in. And there's so many weird and wonderful little museums in London that I have never been to. So that is something I really want to think about doing more of this year. Like little tiny museums. I haven't even been to the Florence Nightingale Museum, which you would have thought I would have been, but no, not yet. Okay, we're going to glue this down, but this is where our washi is going to go, guys. It might go in other places too, but for now, it's going to go here. So I want that down. I mean, it's Barbie-ish colours, isn't it? But we can do better. Better. I'm thinking of bringing in this. It's fabric, and it's this houndstooth, which gives me 1980s vibes, but also kind of fits the vibes of the Barbie. What's it called? What's that weird bit on there? Is that tape? Okay. I don't want that. So I'm going to cut. Does it matter? I could get most of that off, so it's fine. The Barbie swimsuit. I just loved hearing about that too. And they were actually playing the first ever Barbie advert as well. You could watch that. And then they had, now this sounds a bit weird, but they had this lampshade, but it was not one you can buy. It was hanging down as part of the exhibition in the area where they were talking about, you know, how the dolls are made and their hair and their faces and all that, the molds and everything. And it was just all these different shades of Barbie hair as the shade of the lamp. I was like, that is a choice, which it really was. But it was also really fascinating, you know. I think that'll go really well on there. Now we've got this little pink strip, but I've also got some more. Where's my other pieces of washi? I've got the little dot washi, which I thought might be quite good because we've got the black and white dots. I do have some pink, but you know what? I don't think I want pink. We've got Handmade with Love, which I love as well. It's got the grey and pink. I don't think that's really... but then I kind of love it because I do feel like a lot of these pieces... Right, so we've got that one. Let's just have a look at the dot because I am looking at it. We've also got the stripe one to bring in more of those stripes. Need to find the edge of this. Where is the edge? There it is. Yeah, I feel like the pieces are made with love. I mean, to be inside Tim Burton's mind, oh, it's got to be the black, hasn't it? The black and dotty one. And then our final piece is to add a word somewhere. to be inside his super creative mind. But even the Barbie ones, like they were talking about, they had some like the first ever box, Barbie box. And do you know what they didn't have though? And I had these and I was disappointed that they didn't have any of them. I used to be part of the Barbie magazine club. And I can't remember if it was monthly or what, but you'd get a magazine through and it had all the stories in it and it had recipes you could make and all that fun stuff. And they didn't have any of those, which, as I said, I was a little disappointed in that because that was, I loved my Barbie magazine club. Where is, okay, I can't find the little bit that went in there. Oh, there it is. The little bit. I can go all the way behind, like so. I'm just not sure I like any of that. I have to take this off and just put that. I liked it and now I don't. But it's going to be in there and that's fine. It's hidden. Now what I need to do is grab my hole punch. Not my hole punch, my crocodile. And we are going to punch the holes through the other side of the washi. So, yeah. Such a fun day. I have to go to some of these other weird museums. But also just have a look around for some exhibitions. As well. Now, because this is fabric washi, my crocodile wasn't the biggest fan of it, but it went through okay. Let me find some words which I think I want. And have the rub-ons. It's got curiosities. I kind of love curiosities, but I also really like, where did I see it? I saw Dreamer of Dreams. Make it count. Where did I see Dreamer of Dreams? Here it is. Because I feel like, oh, Dwell in Possibility. Where's the possibility got to go? I don't know, but we're going to use the rub-ons. Because that's what they do, don't they? I loved hearing about how the creator of Barbie was pushing for a doll that was could be more grown up, because at that point the only dolls you could really buy were baby dolls, which were just encouraging girls to be mothers and get married. And she wanted one that kind of could be more grown up, that girls could have a different situation with and play out different roles. And it was really interesting looking at all the jobs as well. Barbie started off being like a teacher and a nurse, and then became an astronaut and president and whatever she wanted, because she Barbie. I said mine was always a vet. No, I like it here, even though the eye could be the cat's tail. So I like that. Yeah, that's fun. Dwell in Possibility. I really think we're done, guys. So, what do we think? Let me get this up to you. What do we think? Let's have a look at all the prompts again. And I will show you quickly what I got. An animal with fur, we've got cat. Text in a foreign language, we've got this. A torn piece of paper with an interesting edge. So we've torn this, we tore this, but you can't really see it. I am wondering, actually, if I want, like, an edge drawn on here. And even if I want to define these a bit more. I mean, I don't think it makes a difference, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so we've got that. Yeah, we've got the interesting edge for the stitching, a product label or packaging. This is packaging for the stickers, a calendar page or date square. We've made our own date square. And bonus, a ribbon or washi tape. We've got a couple of washi tapes on there, which is fun. And we're going to put this back in here, and then I will quickly show you. I only picked up a few bits because realistically, I like to think, what can I use What won't take up too much space? And what's practical? Whereas when you're a kid, you're just like, I want the fun thing. And now I'm an adult, I'm like, what's practical? Like my Moomin socks last year that I picked up, which I have to say I wear all the time. They're so comfy. But that was that page for week 6. Oh, do you know, I'm just loving this. I really am loving working in it. So let me show you the few pieces that I picked up. So first of all, from Barbie, I got the stickers. And I picked up these postcards. They had a whole selection. And they were only like £2 each. I think it was 3 for 4. You could get 4 for 3, whatever it was. But I picked up this because I love the style. And it's that black and white again. It's the 1959 Barbie. Look at the size of that. I just loved it. And then I picked up this. So when I was telling you about my favourite Barbie, this was my favourite Barbie. Now here her hair's brown. Her hair was not brown. Her hair was red. So that is incorrect. But this was my favourite. I didn't have any of the others. They were the rock band. She had this really shiny blue coat, which I didn't really play with. These plastic earrings. She was my favourite. I loved her. She was the one that I was like, that's me if I was Barbie, and the one I played with all the time. So they had these two parts of the rockers band and the stage, but they didn't have hair. I don't know what happened to mine. I gave my daughter all my Barbies when she was little, and I think she kind of destroyed them. So it could be gone. But I got those, and I am thinking of framing this one. And I think I'm going to put this one in like a scrapbook or journal. But I'm thinking of framing this because that'll look quite fun. And then I picked this up, the skeleton, because it just gives me Tim Holtz vibes. It's a bookmark, and it says, you read right through me. I love it. Or you read right through me, whichever way you want to do it. But I've got to get a bookmark. And this. Now, there are many things I love about Tim Burton. And as I said, some of my favourite things are Nightmare Before Christmas, Corpse Bride, all that kind of good stuff. But when I was going around looking at some of his artwork that he's now doing, like he's doing acrylic paintings and proper artwork and photography, I saw this. And I was like, if I could own that, I would have it in my house. Actually, they did do a print of it, and I am severely tempted of just going into the gift shop, going back and buying a large print to have framed. But I bought the magnet, and it is this. She's called Blue Girl with Wine. And I am in love. This was my favourite thing. I mean, I saw a lot of things. His honestly, his photography and artwork is outstanding. But this, it looks like Sally, but it also gives me Jessica Rabbit vibes. Got the skull, the red and black, and my favourite colours, guys. And now I'm thinking about working with red and blue because it really works here. But what do we think? They're two completely different exhibitions, but can you see? Can you see? She looks like she's wearing the original Barbies. I'm sure it's supposed to be a dress, but she looks like she's wearing the original Barbie swimsuit. Well, that was it, guys. I was like, right, well, this can go on my fridge, and it can be a representation of both the Tim Burton exhibition and the Barbie exhibition, because it's giving me, well, it's giving me if Tim Burton made Barbie. That's what it's given me. And you can see the stitching on her that he does on loads of stuff. I love that. Look how chunky it is as well. It's really chunky. I think I'm going to have to go back and get the large print and have it framed. But yeah, I just couldn't believe, like when I saw it, first of all, it's a massive piece in the exhibition, and I was just standing underneath it. It's probably like half the height of me, and I was just like, oh my goodness, this is beautiful. And then when I went and saw it in the gift shop, they did have a postcard of it, but it was holographic, and I didn't like that. I didn't want the movement. I just wanted this. But can you believe that they're two different exhibitions? And like, I'm sure Tim Burton didn't go, oh, I'm going to be in this exhibition and Barbie's going to be there. Let me paint this piece. Of course he didn't, because he uses black and white and spirals and stripes all the time. But it couldn't have been more perfect. I was like, universe, yes. Now I've found a new piece of favourite artwork, and it sort of sums up both of the exhibitions for me. So that was it. That's all I picked up. That's all I needed, and obviously took a million photos. So let me know what you think down below. I know this has been a bit of a long one. It's been a bit waffly, but, you know, we got there in the end. Love this, love the whole thing, and yeah, I had a great time. So I hope you enjoyed hearing about it anyway, guys. Don't forget to let me know down below. You can either let me know your favourite Tim Burton movie or cartoon or whatever you want to tell me, or you can let me know if you had a Barbie, what your favourite Barbie was, or your favourite Barbie item. You know, just let me know that down below, because some of you will like Tim Burton, some of you won't, some of you will like Barbie, some of you won't. So let me know both. I'm interested. That's it for now, guys. Who knows what next week's will be? But I will be back again soon for another video. Until then, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having lots and lots of crafty fun. Bye for now.